Hello, everyone. My name is Tyler Schweiger, and I will be presenting a data-driven strategies to improve ASU's ticket sales and marketing efforts. We'll analyze key revenue drivers, fan engagement, and campaign effectiveness to make informed recommendations. ASU football 2024 season summary. The Arizona State Sun Devils had a great first season in the Big 12 Conference, and with it only being our second season under head coach Kenny Dillingham, finishing 11-3 and winning the conference championship is a very good result. Still, there are difficulties and challenges in our future. The big one is we lost our key running back and star player, Cam Scatabo. He was a very large part of our success and a very big reason of that success. So that's definitely a hard loss. We have a very tough schedule in the upcoming season, and especially in the back half where we'll play TCU, Utah, Texas Tech, Iowa State, West Virginia, and Colorado, finishing off with U of A at the end of the season. So that's really going to test the team's depth and stamina. We're still facing some NCAA probation restrictions, so we have to be extremely strict with the way we handle ourselves in recruiting and other things like that to absolve ourselves from getting any more penalties. And then there has been talks of facilities needing to be upgraded, such as Desert Financial Arena, that needs to be given a little bit more of an investment so it can improve and keep up with the times, be a better experience for the athletes and the fans. And then, given all these challenges that we're faced with, ASU really needs strong leadership and the ability to be flexible and to change and ride out on the wave of what we did last season. Through the exploratory data analysis, there were some missing data points within the material, such as the marital status, income, and the education columns of the data set were all had some blank spots. I made a rule in the spreadsheet to fill in all the blank spaces within the data with red so they could be easy to identify, and then went through each column and wrote an equation to find the mode response within all the columns so I could fill in those blank spots with those responses. You find the mode just to ensure that you don't skew the data at all, and that is the most common response already. And then, so I filled the data in with those responses, and then I engineered some variables. I created a distance category that had an equation that categorized the distance in which people who had bought tickets are traveling to the stadium to go to the game. I created three responses. There was a local, which is less than 20 miles, a regional, which is less than 100, and then an out of state, which is 100 plus miles. Then I created a category for total purchases. So I added up everyone's purchases that they individually made to find their total purchases made. And then made a column that was for the total campaign responses for each person throughout all five campaigns that were sent out. How far do our customers travel? Like I said, I categorize the ticket buyers based on the distance traveled to attend games, with that local short distance travelers, regional moderate distance travelers, and then out of state with the long distance travelers. Like I said, within 20 miles is local, within 100 is regional, and outside of 100 miles, we consider that out of state. We can use this information to recognize the distance the majority of our fans are traveling to get to the game, which we could use to adjust stadium logistics and the parking/traffic flow situation. Also noticing that our local attendance definitely has room for improvement. So maybe we could run some last minute flash sales and or other sales techniques in order to maximize our business in our immediate area. We really want our home base around us to seem like big rah-rah for the team. Revenue drivers, I made a table that categorized the amount spent across the different categories. The chart shows that football was the biggest revenue driver for ASU. You can see here bringing in $680,000, 753, and then men's basketball coming in second with $373,911, making it another key area for the revenue. Given this data point, I think good investment strategy would just be investing more into football and men's basketball promotions, and with exclusive ticket bundles that can maximize our profits. And then with the women's sports and baseball coming in at the end of the list, there should be an increase in promotions to help drive attendance at these games as well. Campaign performances. I use the data from the campaigns and all of the total responses to each one to narrow down which ones perform the best. We could use this data to find out which campaign styles or techniques are the most effective so we could replicate the strategy going forward. And then we could analyze what went wrong in our low performing campaigns in order to fix their mistakes and know what strategies don't work going forward into the future. Um, we can invest we can focus our investments of both time and money into campaign strategies that have proven results of being high performing. So you see how the campaign over here did so well. We could copy that type of thing in order to go forward. And then you can start to find that nice area where everything's starting to click and work, and you could have really successful campaigns going forward. Households with and without children. I ran a t-test in order to see if households with or without children were actually purchasing more tickets. The test parameter set was null hypothesis, where there is no significant difference in ticket purchases between households with and without children. And then the alternative hypothesis, there is a significant difference in ticket purchases between the two groups. So as you can see, we had our test result come out over here in this table. Since P is less than 0.05, we will reject the null hypothesis. Households without children seem to purchase more tickets than households with children. So this is good news and also gives us a new direction to head as well. Marketing strategies should target households without children more aggressively, as they seem to be the demographic buying more tickets. So we should really push a lot of our marketing towards them. And then in order to drive up our attendance in the family demographic, we should run some family-friendly promotions or discounts, such as kids' night, in order to drive up sales in families with children. Factors related to total sales. Here I ran a regressions test to see which factors significantly affected the total amount of sales. Statistically significant variables. You can see there number of web purchases, number of phone purchases, amount of football, and then prioritize web and phone sales of tickets as they have the highest contribution to the total amount of purchases. So after running the tests and getting all of these results, you can see that it is true that this web and phone sales are the number one contribution to ticket sales. And we should really prioritize those as they are highest contributors. We should invest into online ticketing systems or apps for smartphones in order to simplify the process of obtaining tickets and attending games for our fans. And then you can also see out of everything else tested there, football is driving ticket sales in all sections, and investing in football will have a positive impact on your total ticket sales. Relationship between loyalty and donations. I ran a t-test to see the relationship between how much people donate and how many purchases they make. Results. You can see here in this table that above average donors purchase an average of 20.36 tickets, and below average donors purchase an average of 12.38 tickets. So what we did here, or what I did here, was I found the average amount being donated across all of the donations and then split the data into two groups depending on if they were donating above or below that amount. And then once we had that data split up, able to go in and test how many tickets each group was buying based off of if they were above or below that average mark. And then you see higher donors seem to purchase more tickets, which proves that they have a higher level of fan loyalty. And then we should invest in a donation-driven rewards program to help entice people into making more donations and grow our fan loyalty. So just to go back over everything we just went through, a lot of information, some key strategies. Focus on online and phone sales in order to invest in website and mobile ticketing apps. Invest in football marketing as it is our highest revenue category. We can maximize our ROI in that revenue category to help all the other categories. Improve campaign targeting focus efforts on successful outreach strategies, encourage donations, loyalty rewards for high value donors, and expand family promotions, bridge the gap for households with children. Some future recommendations. Recommendations for data to be included in the next data analysis. Should find means of transportation, so whether they carpool, bus, Uber, drive alone. This data could prove extremely useful because it helps with game day logistics and also could have the rideshare promotions to maximize traffic flow efficiency. If we notice that a bunch of people are already using rideshare to get to the game, we could find a way to have a partnership with a rideshare app to make that traffic run very efficiently. And then a level of fan engagement on the social media apps. This data could show whether people are invested in the team and how often they are truly following the team. And we could also throw promotions at them through the social media apps in order to drive revenue. Thank you. That is my presentation.